Hey Double Dip babes, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the first Christmas themed manicure of this year. I do already have the base of my nails done. These are very short, square jelly tips, and I did paint over them with a nude gel polish. So now we're ready for the nail art. For the manicure, I'm going to be using the red gel liner. This is number 4 from the first gel liner collection. I'll also be using the super white gel polish and also a white dip powder color. This is 855 and it's called Vanilla Cream. I will be using the brush from the white gel liner. This is also from the first gel liner collection, but for this manicure, I do want to stick with using the super white gel polish. So starting with the super white gel polish, this is a very pigmented white gel. I'm going to go ahead and place a good amount of this onto the nail art palette. I will be using the liner brush from the white gel liner. Picking up the super white gel polish, I am going to go ahead and start doing the nail art. We're just going to start on the index nail. For this one, we are going to be doing a peppermint swirl. This seems very easy, but it can be quite difficult. You want to start with a small dot wherever you want the center of your swirls. Once you have this line, you want to go ahead and create a curved shape going towards the cuticle. If you get any polish on the skin, do make sure to quickly remove it because you do not want to let gel sit on your skin. Then going back to the center point, I'm going to do a curved line going in the opposite direction as the previous line. This is going to create a backwards S shape. For the peppermint swirls, you want to create an X shape, so following where you would place the line to create an X, you want to go ahead and start at that area and do another curved line going off to the side of the nail. And of course, I will be doing the same thing on the other side of the nail. Do make sure that all of your lines are going in the same direction. If you do look at a reference photo of a peppermint, all of the lines are going in the same direction. After creating the initial lines, you want to go back and add some thickness to all of the lines. You can make these as thick or as thin as you like. Typically for peppermint swirls, you do want to make the edges of the peppermint lines a little bit thicker than the center, just to give it that realistic peppermint effect. You can do more than 4 lines if you want, but for most peppermint nail designs, I typically see people doing 4. It is a little bit easier if you only do 4 rather than doing more. Once I have the peppermint swirls like I want, I am going to go ahead and cure for a full minute. Next, I am taking the red gel liner. Again, this is number 4 from the first gel liner collection. Do make sure to remove all of the extra polish from the brush to give you a very clean and precise line. Taking this color, we're going to be doing 4 lines in between each of the white ones. Again, you do want to start in the center of the peppermint design and draw a curved line going off towards the side. For these lines, they are going to be the same thickness throughout the entire line, so do try to make the line as even as possible. You can leave the peppermint design like this, but I am going to be doing another thin line down the center of the white lines. Once I have all of the red lines, I am going to go ahead and cure. For the middle fingernail, we are going to be doing a French tip. I like to start my French tips by drawing a little dot where I want the smile line of the nail. Then going off to the side, I'm going to go ahead and pick a spot and start drawing the curved line of the French tip. You can make this line as straight or as curvy as you like. Personally, I do like pretty deep French tips. Once I have the smile line outlined, I am going to go ahead and fill in the tip of the nail. One thing I really love about the super white gel polish is it is very pigmented, so if you're doing something like French tips, you really don't have to do more than 1 layer of polish. Once I have the French tip painted, I am going to go ahead and cure for a full minute. Going back with the red gel liner, I'm going to go ahead and do a half French tip nail for the ring fingernail. This is the exact same step as the previous French tip. Instead of drawing the other half of the French, I'm just drawing a straight line going down towards the free edge. Again, I am going to go ahead and fill in the French tip portion. The thing about doing multiple French tips is making sure that all of them are the same length and shape. So as you can see, the French tip on the right is the same length and shape as the previous French tip, except it is only half. Once I have it like I want, I did go ahead and cure. Taking the white gel liner, I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line going from the cuticle all the way down to the free edge of the nail. Once I have that line, I did go ahead and fill in the left side of the nail. We are doing a half and half nail, so the entire left half of the nail is going to be white. And taking the red gel liner, I'm going to go ahead and do another French tip on the pinky. I'm going to be applying some of these red shaped rhinestones onto the nails. To apply the rhinestones, I will be using the 4-in-1 base coat gel. This is included in the Mini Luxe gel tip kit from Double Dip. I'll also be using this wax pencil to pick up the rhinestones. I'm going to start by using the second from smallest circular rhinestones. I'm going to be placing one on the peppermint nail. I'm only going to put one in the center of the nail design. Once I place the rhinestone in the center of the nail, I am going to go ahead and cure for a full minute. Moving on to the ring fingernail, I am going back with the gel liner brush. Picking up the super white gel polish color, we're going to be doing some lines on the red portion of the French tip. For this nail design, we are doing kind of like candy cane stripes, and if you know what a candy cane looks like, some of these stripes are thick and some of them are thin. So I'm just going to be creating that pattern on the nail. Once I like how that looks, I am going to go ahead and cure. Taking the top coat gel, this is from the Poly Gel kits, I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the French tip portion of the ring fingernail design. I actually don't think that I've done a nail design that is like half matte and half glossy, so I'm really excited to see how this nail turns out. Before I cure that, I am going to go ahead and top coat around the rhinestone on the index nail. One thing I love about this gel top coat is it is thick enough not to run. So while I'm sitting here painting the index nail, it is not going to ruin the half and half design on the ring fingernail. You can actually top coat over top of your rhinestones, but I don't like how that looks, so I am just making sure not to get any top coat on the rhinestone. Once I've applied the gel top coat, I am going to go ahead and cure. I am going to go ahead and take my matte gel top coat and apply this to the white half of the nail. I am making sure not to get any of this on the glossy part of the nail. I am going to go ahead and cure. Going back with the white gel liner, I'm going to go ahead and do the sweater nail design on the white half of the nail. This might be a little bit difficult to see on camera, so I do apologize if it's hard for you guys to see. So to make sure I line up this sweater nail as straight as possible on the nail, I'm going to go ahead and do little dots where I want the edges of the lines. And I'm going to do the same thing towards the cuticle of the nail. And I'm going to go ahead and connect those lines. So I don't know if you guys can see or not, but I have those two outlines of the cable knit design. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the cable knit. For this, I'm just going to be drawing two very short parallel lines, and I'm going to repeat the same two parallel lines going all the way towards the cuticle. Once I have all of those parallel lines, I'm going to go ahead and connect the top of the left line to the bottom of the right line. And I'm going to go ahead and do little dots on the left and right side of the center cable knit design. Once I have the sweater nail design, I'm going to go ahead and take the white dip powder. Again, this is called Vanilla Cream. This is a really pretty white that does have glitter in it. I'm going to go ahead and take the cuticle pusher. I'm going to scoop up a little bit of the powder and pour it into the uncured gel. Doing this is going to give me a textured gel nail design. And after pouring the dip powder over the uncured gel, I'm going to go ahead and cure for a full minute. After the nail is fully cured, I am taking a stiff manicure brush and I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the extra powder from the nail. There is the finished ring fingernail. Look how gorgeous this is. I love this nail design so much. Thought it might make the nail design look a little bit better. After applying the gel top coat, I'm going to go ahead and cure. Taking a dotting tool, I'm going to be using the smaller side. Picking up the super white gel polish on the left side of the nail, I'm going to be doing a snowflake. I'm just starting with a dot where I want the center of the snowflake. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 smaller dots going up and 2 smaller dots going down. After doing those, I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 more dots going up towards the right corner of the nail and 2 dots going down towards the right corner of the nail. So these are basically like solid lines, so I want to go ahead and do 2 more going this way. And of course, we're going to go ahead and follow these dots to do 2 more this way. So I'm going back with the gel liner brush. I made sure to remove all of the extra gel from the brush. This basically has no gel on it. I'm going to go ahead and drag lines from the center dot going through the 2 smaller dots. I might see if I can straighten up some of the dots because my lines did not go through the center. So let's try that. Okay, that's cute. This was actually really easy, but you do have to line it up very well, otherwise it's going to look a little bit crooked. So before I go and cure that, again I'm taking the same white dip powder and I'm going to pour this over the uncured snowflake. And I'm going to go ahead and cure. And of course, after that's cured, I'm going back with the stiff manicure brush just to remove all the extra dip powder. And here's the nail. Moving on to the thumb, I am going back with the red gel liner and I'm going to be doing a diagonal line from the side of the nail all the way down towards the corner. I'm also going to take a little bit of the red gel and place it on the nail art palette. I am going back with the small side of my dotting tool, picking up the red gel. I'm going to go ahead and do some dots following the red line. So after the red gel liner is cured, I am going back with the white gel liner and I'm going to go ahead and do the lines going in the opposite direction. As you guys seen from the inspiration picture, the line in the center is very thick because that line will have the sweater nail design inside. So you do want to make sure to have enough room for the nail art inside of the line. Once I have the first thick line, I'm going to go ahead and do a thin line on both sides. Once I have all of these lines done, I am going to go ahead and cure. For the thumbnail, I am going back with the glossy gel top coat and I'm applying a layer over the entire thumbnail. So something I do want to mention is typically when you're doing textured nail art like these sweater nail designs, you do want to do this over a matte gel top coat just because it does make the nail art stand out a little bit better. But something that I have noticed is when you're using a glitter dip powder like the one that I'm using, it is perfectly fine if you do a glossy top coat underneath the design. Other than using a glitter, I would definitely recommend that you stick with a matte gel top coat. And I'm going to go ahead and cure. Going back with the white gel liner, I'm going to go ahead and do the cable knit design on the thick white line that I created. This is the exact same steps as well. I'm just starting by doing the short parallel lines going all the way down to the tip. Once I have all of the parallel lines, I am going to go ahead and connect the top of the left line to the bottom of the right. And of course, before I cure that layer of gel, I am going back with the same white glitter dip powder and I'm pouring that over the uncured gel. I'm going to go ahead and cure for a full minute. Of course, after I cured, I am taking the stiff manicure brush and removing all of the remaining powder. So I was actually very indecisive of what I wanted to do for the middle fingernail. I didn't want to do the sweater nail design just because the French tip is very short and I didn't like the look of the sweater nail on the French tip on a previous nail set that I did that was this length. So I'm trying to think of something else and I think I'm going to be doing some candy canes. So I'm going to be doing 2 candy canes that are like crossed over each other. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line with a curve at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and angle the brush and do another one. So after looking at my candy canes for a second, I think they look a little bit more like crochet hooks. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and redo this. So I think my mistake for the candy canes is actually making the curved part too small. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. That's a lot better. That looks so much more like a candy cane already. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and do another one crossing over this one. So we're gonna form the candy canes into a heart. Once I have my candy canes, I'm going to go ahead and cure. So going back with the white gel liner, I'm going to go ahead and add the little candy cane stripes. So I got a little bit off of the candy cane, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to remove that. The thing about doing these little stripes is they are so tiny and the brush is too big, so I can't exactly get the lines exactly like I want just because the size of these candy canes. That's also something else that I'm not a huge fan of, is I can't really get the lines to be like different thicknesses, because you guys know with this one, I like to have my candy cane stripes different sizes and these are just way too small. I cannot do that, especially with this size of a brush. It is pretty small, but for something this detailed, I don't think this is quite the right brush. Going back with my glossy gel top coat, I'm going to go ahead and apply a layer to the middle fingernail. Also going back with the red rhinestones, I'm going to be taking these 2 sizes and I'm going to be placing these on the nail. So as you guys seen earlier, I would typically use the 4-in-1 base coat gel to hold my rhinestones just because it does hold them on very well. But for this nail, I just went ahead and applied it into the top coat. Once I like how it looks, I'm going to go ahead and cure. And the last step is to take the cuticle oil, which is step number 6, and apply this to all of your cuticles. It is important to rehydrate your skin after every single manicure. And here are the nails. Let me know what you think of this nail set down below in the comments. I am absolutely obsessed, especially with the little candy canes. I think they are so cute. If you guys haven't already, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, you can click the boxes and subscribe to Double Dip Nails YouTube channel by clicking the circle here. You can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel by clicking the circle here.